Hello and welcome to Sustainability Matters. I'm Agatha Afemikhe, your host. On this show, we delve into latest developments and innovative solutions in sustainability. Each episode will bring you expert insights, impactful stories, and practical tips to help you make a difference. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode. Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to another episode on Sustainability Matters. Today we have a very, very important guest with us. We have a sustainability expert, Rukayat Oluwafuyi. Did I get that correct?
You did.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so Rukayat is an experienced ESG professional with over 7 years of experience working with varied public and private sector organizations. Her capacity extends to delivering ESG-related trainings, leveraging team strength, and building strong stakeholder relationships. Outside sustainability consulting at Forbes Mazars, Rukayat is a parent coach and spends her time helping parents navigate complexities of nurturing wholesome relationships with their children. Rukayat holds a BSc in microbiology as well as a master's degree in environmental management. Thank you so much for joining us today, Rukayat.
Thank you so much for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. Fun fact, we had done this recording before, but we had some technical issues and decided to do it over again. So thank you so much, Rukayat, for being willing to do this again.
Yeah, always
awesome. Willing. Thank you. So moving on to our topic for the day, sustainability. That's kickstarting your career in sustainability. I want you to give us a brief overview of how you got into the sustainability space.
Okay, so I'll say that it started from a training. So fresh out of microbiology, I didn't know what next to do because microbiology was not the course I chose. It was the course I was given. So as at that time, I think 2012, yeah. So someone said HSC is the main thing now. Go and do HSC level 1, 2, 3 and things like that. So I enrolled at used to be National or Nigerian Institute of Safety Professionals. I think they are now Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria. So I enrolled for the general and level 3. So I got intrigued with job hazard analysis, and there was a specific topic that talked about managing environmental aspects. The topic was environmental management. So I think that was where the interest started, and I was living in an area then that was usually flooded. There was lots of blocked drainages, and I was just marrying what I've learned from the training and trying to see how can we solve this problem. I know it requires collective action, but what can I do on my own part? So I realized that I needed to learn more about this, and someone at that time introduced me to the course in Unilag, then the Master of Environmental Management program. And that was how I enrolled, and it started from there. That's how I got in. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. What I realized from all sustainability professionals is that every time you sit with someone in the sustainability field, you would always hear most likely that they've come in from another profession. I know you studied microbiology in school before you went for your master's in environmental management. What skills from having read microbiology and studied, probably worked with it, have been transferable skills into your sustainability career so far?
Okay, so the only time I worked with microbiology was during the compulsory internship in uni. That was my 300 level. So looking back, I can say that, okay, so attention to detail is very important. When you're in the lab, you can't afford to mix microorganisms to affect your results, right? So taking it back to sustainability, Sustainability is multifaceted, there's the quality assurance, there's the people, environment, governance aspects, safety, different aspects. But one thing that's common to all is paying rapt attention to detail. You can't afford to miss certain things because you are going to make some decisions on behalf of your clients. You are going to give some information that your stakeholders will make some decisions based on them. So you can't afford to miss details.
Interesting. Thank you very much for that response, Rukaya. So let's move into your day-to-day life as a sustainability consultant. Can you walk us through what a normal day in the life of Rukaya looks like, carrying out her work as a sustainability consultant for your organization?
So in my current organization, aside from supporting clients through their sustainability journey, my team is also responsible for in-house sustainability initiatives. So emails in the morning, sometimes a catch-up call with the team to follow up on current projects, current tasks that have been assigned. And sometimes I have to have some correspondences with clients, other stakeholders that are involved in regular projects. You're doing research, you are trying to catch up with emerging trends, writing reports, designing strategy, it just depends on what is at hand at that time. Then we'll do a lot of capacity building. It's ongoing, it never stops. You have to keep doing videos, articles, LinkedIn. You're catching up on LinkedIn, so not 2 days are the same. And I think that's why, as stressful and time consuming as consulting may be, I think that's why it kind of suits me, because I get bored easily. So I don't really like too much of doing the same thing all over again. There has to be some kind of twist or change to it. It keeps me going.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that feedback, Rukaya. Moving on to what you consider a challenge so far in your career in this field, what would you say has been the most challenging task you've had to do in your time in sustainability so far?
Okay, so dealing with people is something that you always have to do, and owing to the fact that you can't control what people do, you have to learn how to manage expectations, right? We need people to implement a sustainability strategy. We need people to implement a management system. We don't have remote controls to control what people do. So it's one challenge. I have a quote that I usually tell people when they are overwhelmed. I just say, okay, try to look at the situation. Look at what is within your sphere of influence, your area of control, and you should focus on that. But in sustainability, it doesn't work that way. What is within your control is very small. Most of it is outside of your control, even though you can get to influence it. So the challenge has made me to become a people person, because I'm always studying, how to influence somebody's behavior. How can I get this person to do what I need them to do for their own good? It's an entire field on its own, but it's very, very integral to achieving desired results. So that has been one challenge, but at the same time, it has presented opportunities to learn more about human behavior. Yes.
I 100% agree with you, because as a consultant myself, I've had to be on projects where some of the stakeholders were not on the same page as my team were, and the project lagged for a long time. A project that was supposed to be for 3 months, you see it extending into 6 months because some of the stakeholders are not carried along. And stakeholders sometimes can be employees in your organization as well. So I 100% agree with that point. Moving on to something we've discussed in private before about how sustainability is an integral part of every career, as it were. Do you agree that anyone from any career path in life can actually veer into sustainability and be great at it?
I believe so. And like I said before, anybody that wants to come into sustainability, as you would with anything you want to venture into, you need to ask yourself why you want to do it. Because as with everything in life, there's going to be challenges. There are going to be times where you are losing your, let me use Gen Z language, you're losing your vibe. It's not giving anymore. You're not feeling it, right?
Yeah.
So your why is going to keep you grounded. I do it too because it's not rosy. I'm not going to, life is happening to everybody. But I keep asking myself, okay, why did I get into this thing? Okay, so because I love businesses, I believe businesses uphold economies, right? This platform we are using to record was created by a business, right? So businesses have been very instrumental to global development. But how can we get businesses to still continue to create the value they create for different stakeholders while nurturing and being mindful of the interactions they have on other aspects, right, that they depend on to be valuable and profitable? Businesses depend on people, either as their customers, as their staff, or the communities where they operate. There is no human on this world that doesn't depend on one environmental resource or ecosystem services. We're breathing, we're drinking water, we're using water for our sanitary business, we're eating, we are building our offices, we're building our homes using environmental resources. These things are making our lives easier. So if we want to continue to do what we do for a long time, which is the whole gist about sustainability, we need to take cognizance of all of these interdependent relationships and make sure that whatever we do, we ensure that the relationship remains symbiotic and not parasitic. The funny thing about natural systems is that it will always find its balance. Nature is a perfect system. It was not designed by man. So it's a perfect system that will always find its equilibrium. So if we are doing things that come back to haunt us, we are the ones who won't be able to survive. The natural systems will always find the balance. And in trying to find the balance, we are the ones who get hurt. You have to understand why you want to do it.
Yeah.
Because it keeps you on your toes and helps you be innovative. Right. Because you keep questioning, asking why. For somebody who has experience in quality assurance now, when you see yourself as, the reason why customers keep buying our products is because we've maintained a certain level of quality. The moment the quality drops, a competitor will kick us out of the market, and we cease to exist. So quality assurance is a key component of ensuring business sustainability. So think about every other aspect too, right? Even to your front desk officer. I'm somebody that if your front desk officer is rude to me, I'll take note of it. And depending on the experiences I get to have moving on, maybe I address it and nothing is done about it. It creates a kind of impression. And impressions help us make some decisions. That's how we make decisions. So I might have an impression that, does this mean this is the kind of culture they have in this organization? If somebody at the front desk can be rude and I've tried to address it and nothing was done, do I think I can do business with these people? It's the mundane things that people use to make decisions. We're very emotional people.
Yeah. And
we make many decisions based on how we feel. So if you make me feel unimportant, there are over 7 billion people in the world. I will move on to someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very, very interesting perspective, Timothy. I'm sure the people listening to this would get to understand how sustainability cuts across, even, like you said, the most mundane things. Gearing off a bit to mentorship. I've been in the space for 7 years at least now. What role would you say mentorship has played in pushing you higher across your career ladder? You're currently the senior sustainability consultant with Forbes Mazar. Would you say mentorship in a way has helped you understand what you want to do in the sustainability field and also presented you with some opportunities you would not have had otherwise?
Oh, yes. So a friend of mine who is also a mentor, right, says information is real estate. And the only way you would rise or you would get to anywhere in life is when you have solid information, right? Okay, so you and I are members of the ESG Champions Group, and we know the number of people who have gotten fantastic employment offers just by being on that group. We have sessions on that group where senior colleagues come to talk about their experiences and how they navigated their journey. It's a kind of mentorship. It's very important. Some of the big wigs on that group are my mentors in the industry. And the way mentorship works is you have to present yourself as somebody who is resourceful and has value to add also. So because people think that mentorship is a one-way street. No, it's a two-way street. You need to have something that you're also bringing to the table, because people who are more experienced than you can also learn from you, right? So mentorship has been very, in fact, as I'm in a structured mentorship program with Wimbies as we speak, I don't joke with mentorship. It's very, very important. It keeps you on your toes. It's like having an accountability partner. And owing to the fact that we are not created to be in silos, we are communal beings. So even on days when you're not getting your mojo, you're not feeling like doing these things, a call to somebody could just be the change you need that gets you going, right? And another thing about mentorship is you may not be in rooms where your matters will be discussed. You don't know how much influence that your mentor has. You may have access to their network, but you may not know how far their networks can reach. So it's just something that you can really leverage if you know how to leverage it properly. I can say that I don't think I've applied for any role before. I've not applied to speak at an event. I've not expressed interest to speak at an event, to moderate panel sessions. Usually the people get to reach out to me through, oh, somebody mentioned your name, somebody did this, somebody did that, right? So it's very important for people to make themselves available for mentorships. The only time I've reached out to someone, yes, was when I wanted a senior professional that was doing what I wanted to do, what I saw myself doing. So I reached out to him to be my coach, right? I have a lot of them like that. But it's very, you can't do it alone. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't do it. It's very important. And I really urge people to make themselves available. As you develop yourself, be willing to, when you don't develop yourself, you can't contribute to some discussions, and people will see you.
Yeah.
People won't, and it's the perception that people have of you that will determine if they want to elevate the kind of relationship they have with you, right? So
100%, I totally agree. And it even draws back to how we met. We met on a professional group, and that means if I had not been willing to put myself out there, I probably would not have met you. And other great people I've also met on the group as well. Because I get a lot of young people approach me and say, well, this sustainability seems very interesting. How can I get into it? Like Rukayat said, first things first, try to get into the community. That way you can understand what's going on in the ecosystem. Thank you very much for that feedback, Rukayat. So moving on to opportunities in this space, I know that sustainability is a very wide field. What are some of the opportunities you think young people or people that are trying to pivot into sustainability can begin to research about or make inquiries about? What are the different fields in sustainability that people should know about?
Okay, so I think the first step is to look at the pillars of sustainability. We have the people, planet, profit. I know it sounds cliche, but that's what it is, right? You can also use the E, S, and G. I like to add another E to it, which is the economic, right? Because it now becomes very holistic and talks about the entire business. So you can take it from there. Look at the components of each pillar that resonates most with you and do your research on it. Currently, I am doing a research. In fact, is it just one? I'm doing two. I'm looking at the application of sustainability, business principles into parenting practice. Right? Yeah. I'm looking at that. I'm also looking at the role of emotional well-being in high performance. Those are two areas that I'm very, very passionate about, because people are the ones that run businesses, and people have different aspects about their lives. And if, for example, I was speaking to someone that if you have it with your wife or your husband in the morning, the way you're going to show up at work is going to be different from when you guys parted ways with, oh, I love you, goodbye, things like that. We're emotional beings. And some people might just be staring at their laptops. They're not really getting anything done. But at the end of the day, you clock your timesheets, you're done for the day. It's not good for business. And when we take care of people, people will take care of the business. So that's one aspect that I personally am about and I'm pursuing. Because I myself, I'm an employee, and I know how different life events impact my performance. So I'm trying to look at it like, okay, so these things also affect other people. So, and I believe so much in optimization. So how can we optimize people? Because people are resources. We depend on their brains, on their knowledge, to provide solutions for their clients. So how can we optimize people? How can we get people to perform at their best? I know a lot is not within the control of any business owner or employer, but as far as you can try, how can you still influence your employees, to be intelligent about their emotions? Because they are going to interface with clients. Somebody who is cranky and is not able to regulate themselves can mess up a relationship with your clients, and you won't be there. If you are lucky, the clients will reach out to you, or probably the client just likes you, and that client will not use that singular event to make a decision or take business away from you. So that's one aspect. If somebody told me that's a whole PhD thesis on its own, it's easy for me to do all of this because it's an area I'm passionate about. So people can look at other areas. Some people is corporate governance. That is a whole big topic on its own, because corporate governance kills businesses faster than when they even make losses. When you make losses, you might still be able to bounce back. Corporate governance it kills business very fast, or poor corporate governance, so to speak. When you don't have the right leadership, you don't have the right people steering the course with which the business is going, it's a problem for everyone. It's a problem for employees. It's a problem for investors. It's a problem for, look at some of these fintechs that raise money, seed round, all of those things. They start using investors' money to fund their lifestyle. People's hard-earned money. They employ sales teams. And you hear after 2 years, they've closed down, or this has happened. It's not sustainable. You can't build businesses like that. So that's one area another person can look at the environmental side. And the beauty about it, everything is kind of interdependent. They're interwoven. You can look at the environmental side. You can decide to look at the air quality, noise. These are areas where people can become subject matter experts. You can look at energy, under energy, renewable energy. Some people are carbon experts, GHG emissions. There are different areas. It can be overwhelming because everything gives an opportunity for you to create impact. So you can start getting interested in everything, right? But as you grow, depending on the opportunities that present itself, you can get to start niching down. But one thing is, as consultants, you'll be more of a generalist. You have to have an idea of everything. Then you can now start developing expertise in some areas.
100%. I agree with you totally, Rukaya. The beauty about sustainability is that it applies to every area of life. So like you said, you can create a niche out of something you're passionate about, and then you just build on it. For example, there's sustainable fashion. Last week we had someone who is currently upcycling fashion waste into fashion items as well. There's literally sustainability in everything, and you can just pick whatever it is you're passionate about and start to find out how sustainability applies in that field or that sector. So I agree with you 100%, Rukaya. So moving on to professional development, are there any requisite professional certificates that anyone interested in moving into sustainability should have first as a requirement before they can think of exploring their interest in sustainability?
I won't say yes and I won't say no. So the reason being that what does a certification do? It just gives evidence that, oh, you have done this thing, you have experience. But for someone who doesn't have experience, I would recommend that make yourself available to experiences rather than chasing certifications. Certifications is to certify that, yes, this person has this level of knowledge or experience in this area. But how do you get that when you have not even done anything? I would recommend that the first step is to do like an analysis of yourself, your strengths, your areas of weaknesses, what you really want to do, what value you want to bring to the table, right? And look at, okay, how does sustainability apply to this? Look for opportunities to put it into practice, right? Look for opportunities to put it into practice before you chase any certification. But anybody, basic BSc in any field, even in education, even if you did BSc Ed, there is that was, in fact, my NYSC, that was what I did. I was a basic science teacher and I found a way to put in environmental sustainability into it. And we had an environmental club because climate education is very important. You can decide that that is the area you want to go into. Breaking down climate education to kids. Because for me, I think that's where the biggest impact is. The kids of today, the Gen Alpha, they are audacious and they will question everything. And I think this is the right time for us to get them, indoctrinated into sustainability. Because trust me, when you teach them, they're going to go and teach their parents at home. They are the ones that will say, mommy, turn off the lights. Mommy, this tap, do this. They are the ones. I have my kids telling me they want to start planting, They want to start planting, These are sustainability initiatives. So it's just that.
Yeah, so personally, I would say there's no hard fast rule, but always when it comes to working in any capacity, really, experience would always count more than a certification. So like Rukayat say, I would also agree that what you should actually focus on is how you can get experience in that field that you're particularly interested in. Okay, so as we round this up, Rukayat, what is in the future for you, let's say in the next 5 years, considering you're already a senior sustainability consultant, like what's in the works for you or in the books for you in another 5 years time? Let's say we want to get you back on the show to discuss your progress in your career. What would that look like for you?
Perhaps, yeah, in 5 years, probably a higher leadership position, right? Representing my firm on global stages, closing business deals for my firm, high impact projects. And perhaps I will have finished my research on my emotional wellness and high performance, right?
Yeah, awesome. Good stuff. We're actually very much rooting for you, Rukaya. We hope that all your aspirations will come to pass. So as a closing remark, do you have any final word of advice for anyone watching this that has stayed through the video so far and is saying, okay, I think I like what I hear and I'm interested in going into this? Any final word of advice for them?
Okay, so I'll leave you with a quote from Jim Rohn, and it says, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. So personal development is very, very key.
Yes. So work more on yourself.
Work harder
Yeah.
yourself than you would do on your job, because personal development is very important, because you are bringing yourself. You are the one who is going to do the job. So it's sharpening the tool you want to use. You are the tool. And the more you work on yourself, the better you'll be able to execute your job.
Perfect. That actually does make sense. If you're in good shape, then you're in the best shape to even add value to wherever you're at. So I totally understand and agree with that. So finally, where can we find you? Say, for example, someone wants to text you and say, okay, I like what you said on the call, but I need personal advice. Where can we find you on social media?
I'm on Twitter sometimes, and I'm on LinkedIn. I'm not very active on Instagram, but I'm trying to come back. So, and Instagram, because of the nature of I don't really talk about professional stuff. It's more my parenting that I talk about. But on LinkedIn, yes, it's more professional.
Awesome. What's the handle called?
Rookie.speaks. On Twitter, it's just Rookie Speaks.
I think your network was having a bit of lag there, but I think I understood you. Rookie.speaks, right? Across all platforms.
Yes. It's only Instagram that has the dots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Rukaya, for being willing to do this. And thank you for sharing your insights and your invaluable perspective on how anyone can kickstart their career in sustainability. And thank you to the audience for watching as well. This episode premieres on Wednesday on YouTube and Spotify, as well as other audio channels. Thank you so much. And for now, stay good and stay green. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in to Sustainability Matters. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget, new videos premiere on our YouTube channel every Wednesday. Follow us across our social media pages to stay updated on the great content we have for you. Until next time, stay green and stay inspired.